Welcome to another review of our power play work. Power play and penalty kill are both things that can be improved upon a lot just by watching, understanding, and reviewing the things that we're doing well and the things that need improvement. So take a look. First of all, this is a recent practice, and we're going to first take a look at the importance of a head check. You see, this left D is going to come into possession of the puck, but there's no good quality head check before he gets the puck. You see, he skated from here to here. For the most part, his eyes were on the puck the whole time. It's hard for him to know exactly where to go with that puck. The other thing I want to point out is his D partner over here, too far. I want this D partner closer, and you have to understand that's going to make for an easy pass here, which let's let it roll. That D had to put it down to the corner, number one, because he didn't head check, number two, because his D partner didn't really come in and tell him. The other thing that'll happen is if this D closes the gap and comes here, this penalty killer will get closer, and then this D will have an open kitty corner pass to a winger. Okay, that's the importance of the head check. I want to review face-off setup for penalty killers. Okay, one of the things we need to know the difference is difference between when you're on the penalty kill versus 5-on-5. Here we'll see we have a center about to take a face-off, and we have a winger who's confused. This winger who's in the slot is supposed to come up and play this corner of the box. Let's watch what he does. Puck drops. The winger goes to the kitty corner defenseman. That is what a left winger would do if the defensive team was 5-on-5. But in this case, the defensive team is on the penalty kill. Instead, the winger needs to take responsibility for the high corner. And watch what happens right here. These two forwards who are supposed to be separate and on corners crisscross because of the confusion. So be aware of that. There is an example of when we talked about this at practice and spent some time correcting it. Take a look. This is a different face-off, different corner, but where we get our winger, the winger was set up here. And we realize, no, the winger has to come over here. And for a moment, even coach is confused. He tells the winger to come down below the defenseman, and then the coach points to this defenseman. Well, that's wrong. This winger is supposed to take this corner. This center is supposed to take this corner. Fortunately, we get it sorted out and realize, wait a second, we're not 5-on-5, we're on the penalty kill. So we push the winger over, and we make sure this winger knows where he's headed. You can see the defenseman pointing. Now watch. Now we have this winger doing the appropriate corner. This center is doing the appropriate corner as well. Good correction there. Now let's see a little bit more about defensive positioning. Make sure, defensemen, that you close the gap between the two of you. You can see how far these defensemen are apart. That's too far, and it comes back to bite us a little bit here. Watch this. This defenseman should have a nice easy pass to another defenseman here, but this defenseman's too far. Now the pass becomes tricky. The good news is that this defenseman notices it, hustles, and this defenseman has done a head check, so he knows exactly what to do with the puck right when it's on his stick. Watch. He's able to make a quick decision. But that wouldn't have been an issue if the defenseman would have closed the gap in the first place. Let's see, a great example of we can avoid some of our bank passes. Watch this. This winger is gathering the puck, and he's got a defenseman here wide open. There is nobody on the penalty kill who's even close. Watch. Instead of doing a tape-to-tape pass, the winger does a bank pass. Pretty unnecessary. Completely unnecessary, right? Do a clean tape-to-tape pass. But here is an example of why you do bank passes. Watch. At this point, this D is going to pass to this winger. Well, that's not a tape-to-tape pass because this penalty killer is too close. So he uses the bank pass. good example of when to use the bank pass and when not to use the bank pass. Let's move on to an example of our D using the boards, if I can find it quickly here. All right, here we had a face-off, and I'm going to go back 10 seconds and let it roll just a little. We have a face-off where the puck is going to come to this defenseman. Watch that defenseman. Nice clean face-off. This defenseman wants to get a pass to his winger, but the winger is quickly covered. See this penalty killer coming in, and this defenseman knows it. And when he goes to pass, he feels like he's forced to put the pass too far from the winger, and he misses. Okay, now let's go back and just remember that if we do a head check, this defenseman should know that there's open space here. Watch. Right at this moment, this defenseman should know that even though this penalty killer is close, if we do a bank pass off of these boards, that puck's going to come right to that winger, and the winger's not going to have to chase it deep into the corner. Let's talk about wingers supporting their wing partners. Okay, this is a situation where this winger has the puck, but he's under total pressure here from the D. This winger is completely available for a pass. I mean, there's a net between him and his wing partner, right? This winger needs to recognize that he needs to get low so this winger can dump a pass to him behind the net. We'll let it roll a little bit. At this point, the winger has turned. That's because the puck's coming. He can't get there in time, though, and the puck goes around. The reason why that happened, and we'll go back, is because that winger needed to recognize a little earlier that he was too low. Now we've actually gone 20 seconds. 20 seconds back. Let's let it roll. This is that pass. We can use the boards there, but we didn't. Here, this winger needs to get low, needs to get low, needs to get low. Oh, he doesn't, and the puck goes around. Good example of wingers being aware of the pressure that their partners are under so they can support them. Let's take a look at some good and not so good choices with shooting. Okay, it's particularly from defense. It's going to focus on this defenseman over here. First, puck's coming to him. Here's a great choice. Defenseman's going to shoot. He's got a great setup. It's not going to hit anyone's shin pads. He's got a center set up for a screen, a rebound, or a tip, etc. He shoots. Now, here's a different example. Okay, right now the puck is on this guy's stick and he's going to pass. This defenseman chooses to shoot, but look who is coming. The defenseman's right, or the penalty killer's right there. I would not shoot that puck. What you need to understand is, had this defenseman done a good head check, he'd realize this winger is wide open. This defenseman can simply put it behind his back, down deep off the half boards, and this winger will easily maintain possession. Instead, that shot comes in there, and we ultimately lose possession. Last concept I want to touch base on is defensive shooting side versus board side, right left handed. Okay, take a look. We're setting up a face off, and right now we have a lefty at the left D and a righty at the right D. That's fine for 5-on-5 and general conservative play, but when we're on the power play, switch this. I want our left-handed player on his shooting side, which is over here, and I want our right-handed D on his shooting side, which is over here. Okay, if you don't know the difference between board side and shooting side, it just means if you take this defenseman and you put him along the boards, if he's left-handed, this is his board side because his stick would be on the boards. If he's right-handed, this would be his shooting side because his stick is on the net side. All right, there it is. Take a look. Continue to improve. I know you will, and keep it up.